scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Hello everyone, you are watching the Business Portal, your gateway to business trends and opportunities. Hi guys, again, Happy New Year. Welcome to the workplace. I'm Marybeth, Nave, and it is an amazing 2015. I hope everybody is back from their vacations and slowly trying to work in, of course, their new jobs. For those of you who have transitioned, or for those of you who are still figuring out a lot of things, this episode is definitely for you because we are going to be talking about self-care, which is the new healthcare. And in fact, that topic is brought to you by one of our amazing resource persons. Again, one of the highly in demand in the industry today, in the Philippines and also internationally. She really just preaches what she walks the talk. She's a mom of 3 beautiful kids, loving wife. She's also the founder and of course the CEO of Gift Solutions, one of the founders of Urban Ashram Manila, and also a consultant to COL Financial. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the workplace none other than the lovely Miss Maricar Holopainen. Hi Maricar.
Hi Marybeth. Thanks for a very interesting welcome. Thank you.
No, because seriously, you're all over the place. You're having so much fun. You're inspiring so many people like myself, and you're still looking great.
Okay.
So many people have this question about how can a busy person maintain beauty and energy?
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for having me. It's very flattering and encouraging to hear what you say, and I guess that's the result of a good life. Yes, no, definitely. 2015 is like you said, it's an interesting year. It's a very challenging year and a good year for a lot of us. Everyone's looking for something way ahead.
Right.
But a lot of them also are carrying leftovers and excesses from 2014.
Right.
And even myself, you take some time to think about over the holidays what's happened to your life and where you're going to go to 2015. That's why it's always wonderful to start the year. There's always a milestone. There's an opportunity to always spend time for yourself and think about what your vision for yourself is for the year ahead. And so the topic that you brought about is
shared,
the way you thought
actually.
about it is actually quite interesting, even for myself, because it makes you think about even your own life. Like, what is it you want out of this year that will make it better than the previous year? And the people around you, how can you affect them much better, and how can you care for them much better?
Right, and you know what? A lot of our viewers, women and men, definitely, they have a lot of questions regarding how to make themselves better, especially this year. Because is it just about the title, the position, the type of work that they have? Are they earning enough?
Yes.
Are they loving enough? I mean, is it always enough? I mean, they always look for something more
Yes.
to put into their lives. But like what you also mentioned, sometimes having less is even more.
Yeah.
So let's start off the workplace with this whole self-care. So we'll find out about how you guys can get into a detox type of mode.
Yeah.
So let's start with you, Maricar. You're a busybody. You have a lot of things
Yes.
ongoing right now. How are you able to manage and balance your time with all of these?
Well, it's really a work in progress. I can't say there's a secret formula, nor is there an ideal state. I think once you accept that every moment of your life is an opportunity to be better, then you tend to make better decisions. I find that, like you said, you take the time to spend thinking about what's happened, and you really look at it from an honest observation point of view. You take a look at the year, what went right, what went wrong, where things hurt, where things were good, where there were joyful moments, and really look at it honestly, observe even your reactions to that, and don't judge it. I think it's interesting to see how you react to certain situations, especially when you reflect on it.
Right.
And if you have no judgments for it, then you know what you can do better for next year. It's not rocket science, I think, and I don't think anyone has the best formula. I think it's all personal, it's all subjective. But the fact that you said people are asking these questions,
Right.
people think about, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? That's a good thing. The fact that you have the time to quiet down and ask these questions is a start. The awareness or the desire to do better is in and of itself a great thing, because that propels you to look at other things. And the attitude, I suppose, is what's necessary to change that. Everyone's got habits. We all have habits. I mean, in my experience, people tend to really find ways to change bad habits. But in reality, maybe it's just starting good ones. And hopefully the good ones take over the bad ones.
habits. Okay, so now is a year to actually start good habits. So for our viewers, where can where should we start, especially
Yeah.
for those people who are in transition,
Yeah.
or probably they're asking a lot of questions. Is this job still for me? Is this relationship still for me? Is what I'm doing enough? Where can people at least start off in this year, 2015?
I think it's important to take stock of where you're at. I mean, really, like if you're going to a doctor, everyone always has these annual exams in the beginning of the year and all that. So it's like a diagnostic. Really give an honest assessment of where you're at, health-wise, physically. Are you at the prime of your health? Where are opportunities for you to improve? Should be more flexible? Should you be stronger? Should you have more energy? There's always goodness in that and being stronger. Second is taking a look at maybe how the methodology of your life has affected you. Are you more stressed because you put in more time at work? Are you smarter with the way you work? Ask yourself those questions and really spend the time. So once you take stock and understand exactly where you're at and accept that there were mistakes made and that there are opportunities to be better, then I think it's pretty straightforward once you see that. Because once you see where it went wrong and what you did wrong, then you'll know what to address. That's
Right.
a good start. And then what you did right, just do more of it. So taking stock is a good place to start. Personally, what I did was I cleaned out,
The
like
house?
physically,
Oh, just like the closet.
Yeah, closet.
Yeah.
Like cleaning out all your stuff, taking a look at even the gifts you've received, taking a look at what are all these things that are useful to me, what are those that I could really use and make use of it, and all those that aren't, give them to people who may need it. So cleaning up is a good way to go because you need space. Everybody needs space, mental space, physical space,
emotional space.
Create space, but you can only create space if you really look at what are the unnecessary things in your life and what are the important things. And I think you asked me that earlier, is how can you determine that? Because there's so many things that may seem to be important. And I take this from my husband when he said that you have to know your audience. Like who are important to you? I mean, who is your audience? What are you doing this for? And honestly, once you answer that and have a hierarchy, let's say for me, obviously it's my children and my family, then the decisions are much simpler. And you can really have that conviction to say that these are my choices and you can live by it because you know who you're trying to make happy. And that's what makes you happy in return. So it's really knowing your audience. Who are you living for? What is your life all about and who it's for? And I find that once you think that, then the decisions you make will be much simpler.
And the opportunities that you will say yes to will be so much clearer.
Yeah, it's never easy. Nobody said it's ever going to be easy, but it gets easier, just like any habit.
Oh, that's true. The first time around, it's like it takes a lot of time. Like just to give you an idea, this year, like for 2 straight days, I was just at home and everything was just so quiet,
Yeah.
which is not normal
Yeah,
for my
yeah,
personality.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
always like on the go. So it's like when you're quiet and then you face the things that the unfinished. For me, my New Year's resolution is to just simplify everything.
Yeah.
You know, may it be in appearance, may it be in opportunities and everything else I get involved into. And the second one is to finish unfinished businesses last year.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's my personal
Yeah,
resolution. So I think what's also very important, like what Maricar was mentioning, is to create those simple goals. Everybody mentions it. So many different speakers mention it. But again, in order for you to have direction for 2015, I mean, I guess you really need to put something down on pen and paper.
Yeah. It's really never any different every year. I think it's just that you're probably a different person and circumstances have changed. So you need to rethink. it's really just probably tweaking what you're already doing. There's no way you can't be messing it up. You definitely, there's goodness in your life that needs to continue, but there's also these things na nakakalusot. All these things that end up just taking over your life, especially when you're completely unaware. When you're so busy, flooded with so many things, and all these things are finding their way to get to you, and you're so unaware, next thing you know, it compromises or it comprises actually a portion of your life. So I think it's a work in progress. Every day is a work in progress. I think the tricky part about making resolutions and goals is the sustainability. Making sure that every day you do it. And that's what practice is. I mean, you're doing it every day. Choices you make and all that. And then just like breathing, just like anything natural and involuntary, it becomes natural if you keep doing it. And yeah, so yeah, I mean, I'm not the perfect example for it, but I think seeing the people around me and learning from them is a good way to also see what can work for you.
And trust me, we are also learning from you. Because again, Maricar here is one of the amazing, founders and also teachers in Urban Ashram Manila. And basically, you teach us how to breathe, which is very important. Apparently, I just figured that out late last year. You know, when people say just breathe, I'm like, I am breathing, you know?
Yes.
And it's really, it de-stresses your body, which we'll talk more about later. But, let's talk about self-care. What do you mean by self-care is the new healthcare?
I think, first of all, it's very easy to say self-care is the new healthcare, but I think ultimately, if you think about it, once you accept that you care for others, that your life affects others, like even you wake up in the morning and you're so happy to greet your child, good morning, and you've set them up for a good day.
Right.
You shift perspectives for the people around you. I mean, like if you wake up in the morning and you're grumpy and you scream at your help, you've ruined her day too. So it's really a cycle where you affect people, and once you embrace that your life affects others, be it a lot of people or very little people, but they're the people you care about, that is the beginning of self-care. The fact that you embrace the fact that you affect people. And once you realize that, what I do, what I think, how I act affect people, then you'll start thinking about the way you think, the way you act, the way you move, the way you take care of yourself. And that's where self-care comes in. The fact that you need to take care of others, you really need to take care of yourself. I mean, just a simple thing, like my children were sick over the holidays, and
I'm so sorry. They're better now.
They're better now.
Okay, good to know.
Definitely better, but you can't help it. It does happen. And you have to be strong as a mother, mentally, emotionally, physically, to care for them. So you need to take care of yourself. It's as simple as that. And even the people at work, people who depend on you, people who rely on you, that's just the way it is. And once you accept that you need to take care of yourself, then that's exactly where self-care starts, the acceptance that you do affect other people's lives.
That's why you were mentioning earlier that it's important to know who your audience is. Because once you are defining already your audience, basically when you say, okay, my audience is my husband, my kids, plus people at work. Now, when you say people at work, who are these people? Is it in the corporate life? Is it in a banking institution? Because like if it now, when people get to a certain point that they feel like they're very, very toxic already, is again, that's where the question comes in as, is it time to move on to a different institution? Am I doing still the right thing? Am I still happy in what I'm doing? And that's why, because again, you mentioned about being healthy for others is also very important, because if you're not healthy yourself, then everybody else around you gets affected.
Yeah, and even just moods, simple moods, like if you're grumpy, people around you are gonna be very tense, are gonna be very stressed that, if they care about you, so they're gonna try to manage your moods too. So it's just, but you can't help it, you're human, right? You do get upset, do get that, but there's also that length of anger that you carry. You could be angry the whole day, or you could just, okay, I'm angry, and acknowledge it, and then do something to get rid of that anger, like walk around,
less
breathe.
violent means.
Yeah,
people,
in yoga, one of the tenets is choose the path of least harm. I mean, I think...
Or choose the path of no harm.
Yes, in ideal situation, but you might get stressed thinking of no harm, so maybe the choices available are, you choose the least harm.
Okay,
So-
we'll talk about that in a short while. So, ladies and gentlemen, like in anything in life, we'll just take a quick break. You have to take a quick break too. But don't go away, because when we come back, we have more to talk about, especially in terms of self-care, which is the new healthcare. So we'll be back for more. Stay tuned.